Oh,
What?
hello. Apparently, I'm already live. I did not hit go live, but here I am, dancing live on YouTube. What's up? What's up? All right. All right. Well, a couple of you messaged me asking when I'm going live, and I said about 5 minutes. I think I was pretty spot on with my time there. It is 5:02 Pacific. So, because this stream went live like 2 seconds before I was ready, I need to set up my Facebook so I can go dual live. But I'm Dan Salem live on the BuzzChomp YouTube channel. Join the conversation. My moderator from last week should be joining us shortly. He definitely was wondering when I was kicking off. I just sent him a message, so I expect him to join soon. We're going to be talking this NFL offseason. We'll touch on the Super Bowl because it was pretty fun. Not if you're a Patriots fan, but it was a fun game if you're a fan of the NFL. Now, what's all that racket back there, Maddie? Before I dive into the NFL offseason, second, hey, hello, welcome. I'm going to set up my live on Facebook mentions, and then we will dive into this NFL conversation. So I am just typing for a second. NFL off-season live stream. Big moves. That's what we're talking about. All right. And I'm done. And I'm going live in 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello, Dan Salem. I'm live at the Dan Salem Facebook, over on YouTube, BuzzChomp's YouTube channel. If I did not subscribe to you, I will do so in a moment. I do not recall if I made that sub. So I'd be happy to subscribe to you after the live stream. I will after, not sure, because I forget. All right, so we're going to talk the NFL and the post-Super Bowl kickoff to this offseason. Now, the biggest thing on my mind is the Patriots, because they just lost the Super Bowl, which makes decisions trickier for players like Rob Gronkowski, who suffered a really bad concussion in the AFC Championship game. He recovered in time. Oh, how do you join the team? Is that you who emailed the website? I will email you back tomorrow with details. We will need a writing or video sample to get started. Yeah, if any of you guys want to join the team here at BuzzChomp, we just request a writing or a video sample to get started so that we can assess your work and make sure we like it and that it fits with our brand and style, and that you want to write about something that you're passionate about and that we think will go well with what we're passionate about. Normally it fits, because if you're passionate and we're passionate, that just melds really well. But yeah, thank you for your interest. So the Patriots and Rob Gronkowski. I have him as the cover picture because he's teasing whether or not he'll retire. I don't know. I put this at 50-50 because the Patriots, if they had won the Super Bowl, they beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. No, they didn't. Unless you're in like a parallel universe, because the Eagles won. Whoops, I'm knocking over my thing here. Sorry. The Eagles won. Someone thinks the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Perhaps they went to bed too early in a different Super Bowl. Oh, yes. They beat them like 10 years ago. It was like 10 years ago, I believe. Maybe more. No, more like 14. But yes, the Eagles were trying to win their first Super Bowl against the Patriots 14 years ago. Donovan McNabb, quiet over there. Donovan McNabb, Andy Reid, and Terrell Owens, and they lost. And Tom Brady and Bill Belichick beat them. Now the Eagles beat the Patriots, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. So my feeling is if the Patriots had won the Super Bowl, I think Rob Gronkowski would have retired as a world champion, having won 2 times in a row. Now, you could say, oh, maybe he wouldn't go for the three-peat. He had a really bad concussion. He has a history of injuries, and he is heading straight for an entertainment career. He has a huge personality. People love him. He is definitely like the face of multiple brands, and he's got this whole party persona. I feel like if he doesn't already have a reality TV show, he's going to have one with him and his boat and the Gronk cruises and all this stuff. So he's already got himself set up for his post-football life. He's a personality and a multiple-time world champion, and like he's extremely recognizable, especially in New England. But I find him recognizable just in general. He just has that look that you know him. One of the running backs on the Eagles is from England. LeGarrette Blount was on the Patriots last year. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. But so I think Gronkowski he might hang it up. The Patriots are going to have a new offensive coordinator, most likely a new defensive coordinator. Oh, Jay Ajayi. He's from England. Oh, I didn't know where he was from. Yes. I liked him. He was on the Dolphins, and then he got traded. He had himself a pretty good Super Bowl. I don't know. I thought he was a good player, but as a Jets fan, I always rooted against him because he was on the Dolphins. And then he's won a title with the Eagles against one of his former rivals. Kind of interesting. So, Patriots are losing 2 big coaches. This is our big shoes to fill on a team that strives for continuity and like prides itself on it. Who's going to replace Rob Gronkowski? I really think. Oh, Matt P's going to the Lions. Yes. Patricia, the defensive coordinator. Did he officially sign for that as their head coach? I believe. I saw officially that McDaniels is going to be the head coach of Andrew Luck and the Colts, which is a nice combination there. It's a good move for him. Good move for Andrew Luck and the Colts. And then, Patricia's the head coach of the Lions. I like that move because they had a solid offense. They needed someone to boost the defense. Now, there are 2 schools of thought here when you're bringing in coaches. Do you boost up your strength, or do you try to boost up your weakness to balance out the strength? You got to go and like enhance your strength. So we'll see how this works out for Detroit, because Detroit's strength is their offense with Matt Stafford, and they got a defensive coach. It could work out well and create harmony, both 2 strong units, or it could hurt the offense, which was their strength in the first place, and then they're just an average football team. But they need something to push them over the hump. This could do it. They did let up too many points last year, and they scored plenty on offense. So we'll see. I always enjoy rooting for the Lions and Matthew Stafford. He's been on my fantasy team numbers of seasons. As for the Colts, I wish Andrew Luck the best, but I'm rooting for the Jaguars in that division. That's just so fun. Blake Bortles, I don't know if you watched do you think the Lions will use the Patriots defensive plays? So yes, because the Patriots defense was Matt Patricia's defense. I know it's also Belichick's defense. So I got to give credit to Belichick. I'm not going to take it away from him. But Patricia was there long enough that was like his way of running the defense because he was the defensive coordinator. But they're going to try to incorporate it. I mean, that's what you do, right? You know what you've learned, and that's what he's learned. He learned from Belichick. He coached the Patriots defense. So he's going to bring it over to Detroit. I would be shocked if he tried to run something different. He'll bring in the personnel that complements what he likes to run. Hell, he might even poach players from his former team. And that's why I think there's a big shift coming in the AFC especially. The Patriots have lost 2 of their coaches. Now, Belichick's good at bringing in other coaches. He's got a great coaching tree. So I'm sure that'll go well. But what really scares me is Gronkowski's concussion that may lead to his retirement. Oh, hello. How are you? I like your comment. Welcome from Senegal, West Africa. That's awesome. We are talking the NFL offseason because it is in full swing, Brian. And I'm also over on YouTube. So I don't know how serious Gronkowski's concussion is, but I can see him retiring because he's already got himself set up. I'm also a little worried about the wide receiver that got knocked out of the Super Bowl with concussion. That was a dirty hit by the Eagles. We saw throughout the playoffs the Jaguars were doing it. These players, they're just playing a little dirty. It's football. They didn't call penalties. They probably should have called a penalty when they knocked, Brandon Phillips out with the concussion. I don't think Tom Brady's going to have the weapons that he usually is used to. Like, he still got the running game, but their offensive line was what lost them the Super Bowl. Do I think Daniels will use the Patriots offense at the Colts? I do not think he will run the same offense because he's smarter than that. Oh, thanks for subscribing to the YouTube channel, Brian. So Andrew Luck is not the same player as Tom Brady. Now, we don't know what he's going to be like post-in surgery. Andrew Luck has been injured and missed a lot of time. So potentially he comes back and so Andrew Luck could return and have to be more of a Tom Brady style player. If that's the case, McDaniels is going to definitely use his offense and at least as a starting point. But the Colts have different strengths than the Patriots. They don't have – they need to establish a running game and find some balance. Andrew Luck was never like a straight-up pocket passer. That's what Tom Brady is. He used to scramble. I don't know if he'll still do that now post-injury. So we're really going to have to see how he recovers. Yeah, head injury. I know. So that – I mean, there's the multiple Patriots dealing with head injuries in the offseason. Now, there's plenty of time to recover. But it makes you think because these things don't go away. They linger forever and ever. And one more head injury, and then that's pushing you over the line, right? I know, and they benched Malcolm Butler. I couldn't figure out why the Patriots did that per se, but he must have effed up during Super Bowl week, and that was his punishment, which stinks. I don't think it necessarily – I mean, it definitely hurt them because the Eagles got some big pass plays against their defense, but you gotta – discipline's got to come first or you lose control of your team. That's what Belichick prides himself on. So – that's not my message. That's someone else's message popping up on the screen. Confusing me? What? I didn't say anything. What? Anywho, quiet, Maddie. What I was saying is the Patriots are obviously still the team to beat in the AFC East because all three other teams need a quarterback. The Jets, the Bills, and we don't know if the Dolphins will be able to continue forward with their quarterback who got hurt last year, Tannehill. So they have quarterback stability. They're the team to beat in the AFC East. But in the terms of the AFC hierarchy, I question the Steelers too, and so that they're entering the conversation now. Are they able to re-sign Le'Veon Bell? He is due a lot of money. He is threatening retirement if he doesn't get his payday. He wants to set the bar for running backs of his caliber, and he rightfully should because they're being undervalued and underpaid. Like the reason the Eagles won the Super Bowl is because they controlled the clock with their running game. Yeah, they got the big plays and they got the big defensive stop, but it was the running game when they had multiple 3 or 4 runs of over 20 yards. That won them the game. That was just a game changer. So if Le'Veon Bell does not come back to the Steelers, which that totally throws the Steelers out of whack. They need him. Yep. But Blunt got a ring last year with the Patriots and then a ring this year with the Eagles beating the Patriots. It's kind of a perfect harmony. I don't know where he'll end up either because there's a lot of free agents here. Yes, Maddie, lots of free agents. My feeling is that Bell will come back to the Steelers, but the Steelers got problems too. They couldn't play enough defense this year. The team to beat in the AFC right now as of today are the Jacksonville Jaguars because they have not lost anybody, whereas the Patriots have, and the Steelers were a step behind them this year. Now, Jacksonville has to decide what they're going to do at quarterback with Blake Bortles. But they can bring him back or they could easily upgrade. So, I mean, he's a good quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback. Now, Jacksonville fans will tell you he's amazing, blah, blah, blah. If you watch The Good Place, one of the characters is obsessed with Blake Bortles. It's hilarious because he's slightly above average. So I'll get to the NFC and the Vikings in a second. They are looking pretty solid, but again, quarterback. I think that the Vikings are in an enviable position because they have 3 quarterbacks that have all done well for their team at one point or another. So if I mean, the Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC, obviously. They just won the Super Bowl. They have both of their quarterbacks under contract. So no matter which one is going to be playing for them starting week 1, they still got a great team. I think they have to work on re-signing some of their offensive weapons. I don't know if Alshon Jeffrey has got a multiple-year deal with them and their running back situation. I'm unclear on the contracts. But they're the team to beat with the defense and the continuity there. Minnesota, they're going to have their struggles with Green Bay. The Packers are in for a resurgence. Aaron Rodgers is going to have another great year before his career is over. Now, they have other issues in Green Bay, but the Packers are going to push the Vikings more next season. I know it's hard to say, but I think Minnesota needs to move on from Case Keenum. I think they need to let him leave. He can get more money elsewhere. He deserves his payday. He's earned his payday. I think they need to say thank you. But, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater was doing really well until he got hurt. Sam Bradford was doing really well until he got hurt. Nick Foles could be traded for, was doing really well. Kirk Cousins is going to be available. So is Josh McCown if he doesn't return to the Jets. So there are a lot of veteran quarterbacks that Minnesota could snag. Lions against Vikings, that would be a hoot. Who wins? The Vikings win. But I don't know if the Lions will be quite that good next season, but I have to say so. The Cowboys better be good because otherwise their coach is going to get fired. He's going to be on the hot seat for sure. Are they bringing back their star wide receiver? There's a lot of talk that Dez Bryant will not be back with the Cowboys next year. That totally throws their offense out of whack without him because he was a must double cover. Those are these big names like must double cover. You needed two men to stop Le'Veon Bell on the Steelers. You needed two guys to cover Rob Gronkowski. But as we all know, it comes down to quarterback. So Kirk Cousins is the biggest chip of all. As a Jets fan, it's fun. I wrote about how the Jets should grab Kirk Cousins. I think it was back in November. I said that they should get him in the offseason. But I don't think that they will. ESPN thinks that he'll be a New York Jet. The Jets have the money. I don't think they're going to go after Cousins. I think they are going to spend it to build up the rest of the team and complement an above-average quarterback because that's what success that Jacksonville found. That's the success. Tom Brady's excellent, but he wasn't enough to win the Patriots the Super Bowl, even though he had like the best game in over 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He wasn't enough. You need the rest of that team. When they threw the ball to Brady, all I was thinking, all right, yeah. So we'll go back to the Super Bowl for a second. When they ran the trick play and threw the ball to Tom Brady, what I was thinking was, if he was 5 years younger, he would have caught the ball because he was one step short and it went off his fingertips. And at 40 years old, he was just a little slower than he used to be, and he couldn't quite get there. If he was younger, he would have caught it. So being 40, finally caught up to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl when he was trying to catch a pass, and he dropped it. Now, there's a wonderful meme going around where it's that play and Tom Brady and the Super Bowl Lombardi trophy goes off his fingertips and falls to the ground, and he just can't quite catch the Lombardi trophy. It's hilarious, a great meme. We saw another one with, that commercial with the old man and the fishing rod, and he throws the rod out and he dangles it in front. Go did you get it? Go did you get it? Well, there's a Lombardi trophy on the fishing rod, and it's dangling in front of Tom Brady, and he can't quite catch it. Oh, memes are funny. So that's a great play. It was an iconic play. It was defining because the Eagles ran a trick play on 4th and goal and threw the ball to Nick Foles, who caught it for a touchdown. Nick Foles is younger, and he's more athletic. He's not a better quarterback. Yeah. Oh, you saw me on TV? Thank you. Yes. My commercial aired in the pregame and in the postgame. I bookended the Super Bowl right before and right after. It was kind of amazing. Double the fun. Dan Salem on television for the Super Bowl. Thank you. It was excellent time. So if we're talking about balance of power and big, big moves, the Denver Broncos are going to make a big move. And it's going to be a quarterback because they didn't have one last year, and it really made the whole difference. They still have a pretty good defense. I like their offensive weapons. They need a quarterback that they can rely on. Oh, who filmed the commercial? It was the Martin Agency. So it was the same director that did the Marco Polo Geico commercial of a year or so ago, if you remember Marco Polo commercial, which was hilarious. And then the Martin Agency is the ad company that did the commercial, put it all together. Great job, hilarious, so funny. Bill Meskeman, I don't know if you could recognize him. he had prosthetics on as George Washington. Someone online tagged they tagged Bryan Cranston as the George Washington. That's incorrect. It was not Bryan Cranston, but I guess in prosthetics, Jabil and Bryan kind of look similar. Kind of funny, if I do say so myself. So back to football. Back to football. The Broncos are going to make a big move because I think that they feel like they can steal that division. Oakland was not great. Kansas City losing Alex Smith, so they're going to go with a young quarterback. The Broncos wanted to go with a young quarterback. Do not be surprised if Kirk Cousins ends up as the Denver Broncos starting quarterback. I'm just putting it out there. He's a great fit with Denver. I don't know if they have the money, but if they can find a way, they'll do it. How did I get to be in the commercial? Well, I auditioned last year back in April. And March. It was March. Yeah, well, it was a while ago. So I auditioned for it. I have an agent. They called me up, said you gotta be in Santa Monica. You're gonna be playing a Revolutionary War character. And I'm like, all right, well, I gotta bundle up in my winter jacket here in the 85-degree weather to make myself look like I'm in the Revolutionary War time. And I will go into the audition, and they have hats for us that make us look like the time period. So I donned my triangle hat, and then I fake pulled a boat across the room. They loved it. So I went back for the callback, nailed that, and then I booked the job. And a couple weeks later, I filmed it, and I was in the streets pulling a boat. Oh, man, it was tough. It was hard work. We weren't actually pulling the boat, but we were actually pulling, so we might as well have been pulling the boat. Besides Denver, I think the Seahawks are in for some turnover. Jimmy Graham might be leaving, but they are going to want to try to stay on top as hard as possible because they got a great quarterback in Russell Wilson. They're going to make a big splash move. I'm not sure who they're going to steal, but they need to seize that division back from the LA Rams. So I'm looking to Denver and the Seattle to make a big move. And my Jets are going to upgrade, and they're going to get a good quarterback, and they're going to elevate themselves into the playoff discussion. But they're not like that precipice team that's one player away. I kind of feel like Denver's one player away. I kind of feel like Seattle's one player away because they barely missed the playoffs this season. Who else? The Chargers, because they got a couple seasons left of Phillip Rivers. Now, obviously, New Orleans still doing well with Drew Brees, but the Chargers they're like one player away. They got a great running back. They got a great tight end. Again, they need somebody like to really – they have a couple great guys on defense, Joey Bosa. They need like one more playmaker or maybe just to upgrade their offensive line. But I think they need one like star wide receiver, and the LA Chargers are going to be cash money. Now, I'm putting it out there again. LA Chargers versus LA Rams in the LA Super Bowl. I believe it's the year 2020. Putting it out there. I want this to happen. All right, guys. This has been a lot of fun tonight. Thank you for your amazing questions. Do you have any final questions for me before I sign off tonight? We will be talking the offseason again next Tuesday. Don't you worry. Any final questions tonight? Super Bowl, offseason. What did you say about me when the stream started? Oh, I said that I said that my moderator from last week would be joining us shortly because I knew that you had messaged and you said, when am I starting? So I was like, all right, he'll be here any minute because you're great having you with the questions. So I was just saying we'll have you back shortly full of questions. I will subscribe as soon as I sign off. Don't you worry. All right. Any other questions? And then I will go do that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back again next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time for another 20 minutes of live NFL chat. It's the off season. There's lots going on. There's going to be some big moves between now and then. You know it. You know it. All right. Have a great rest of your night, and thank you, and good night.